Bellefontaine Cemetery and Arboretum is filled with beautiful works of stone. But one that has been recently added is totally unique in both form and use.
This past year is our 175th anniversary, and it kind of reinvigorated our commitment to looking at funerary art and art on our grounds. And so technically, Robert's installation is our first piece of public art.
The meditation labyrinth that designer Robert Fishbone created for Bellefontaine is a mesmerizing wheel of granite that provides a place for visitors to engage with the natural surroundings while simultaneously looking inward.
So a maze would be something that would have tall walls and do I go left, do I go right? So it's about entertainment and confounding you. A labyrinth, on the other hand, is totally different. It's at ground level. There's only one path, and it always leads you to the center, even though it twists and turns, and which mimics our lives. So it's much more about contemplation and meditation and prayer as opposed to entertainment.
We're a place of grief and healing and love and process. So I think establishing a labyrinth here just makes sense.
So the first labyrinth I did was at a Central Reform congregation in the Central West End. One of my rabbis asked me, he said, "Hey, would you like to do a labyrinth here?" When it came time to actually install it, 30 members of the congregation installed the bricks in silence. So the installation was with the same intention as walking a labyrinth, which is humility. You're giving up yourself, you're letting go of the world of distractions that we all live in, and seeing what else might there be. I've always been fascinated with forms and shapes and symmetry and geometry. That's one reason why I like these kinds of projects, these bigger technical projects. I like the physicality of it. I like that it's more about problem solving necessarily than the art. I appreciate the art, but I can see that at my core, I'm more of like a builder and a problem solver.
Robert's interest in creating and inventing started in college, where he was studying biochemistry. Once he discovered a passion for art, he began to apply his proficiency in math and science to execute his creative visions.
That technical background feeds right into all this stuff.
A combination of the technical and artistic was the foundation of Robert and his late wife Sarah's company, On the Wall Productions. Started in 1974, it's been bringing the walls of St. Louis and other cities to life with incredible murals for over 50 years. After Sarah's passing, Robert continued creating colorful, imaginative work with their daughter Liza, but is now leaning more towards the contemplative process of creating labyrinths.
My therapist, counselor, nutritionist, meditation teacher, he said my shift from murals to labyrinths was like going from ooh to ah. There's a lot of different designs of labyrinths, but the one that appealed most to the staff at Bellefontaine is called the Santa Rosa design. I got permission from the woman who designed it to be able to use it. The materials we use, which are granite, was inspired by a labyrinth in Boston. So, you're sort of cobbling together different things to arriving at what we felt would be the most appropriate and pleasing design. So this is what the design looks like. I then had to find a company in town who could fabricate the granite, because each piece is custom cut, and there's about 160 pieces.
We're a small family-owned company, so it's just something that we've never done. We mostly do kitchens and bathrooms, bars, restaurants, so probably nothing of this magnitude. Thought it was an interesting challenge.
So I gave my design, my layout to Matt at EB Granite, and he went on his computer and really like a wizard, he came out with this layout.
And Matt programs it into the computer system. And then that goes to our saws where it's cut.
If you look at the individual pieces, the measurements are like 46.8375 inches, and you're going, yeah, right, 10,000ths of an inch. It's good that he did that, because as we're putting it together now, the ends are matching up.
I'm just happy to be a part of it and that it turned out really nice. People get to enjoy it, something we did, so yeah, it's always nice.
And to make sure everything was in alignment, Robert once again wove together science and art.
So I also built a big a dial that connects to the center, and it has marks on it, and there's wheels on both ends, so we can actually wheel it around, and it shows us if we're staying in the right place. We now have this, destination within, Bellefontaine Cemetery and Arboretum for people to come and experience, not just say a grieving process, which it can help with, but just as another way to experience the beauty of the grounds here.
It'll be a resource for the public and the community. Robert has graciously offered to hang around, help us learn all the nuances of a labyrinth.
You're giving yourself a gift of time away from everything else. You're being kind to yourself.
We deal in death and dying and grief and caring for families and aftercare in our families. And so I think that, sometimes things hit you different on different days. And so we always like to have resources for our staff to step out of their offices when they need a moment, go out on the grounds, experience the gift, as Robert calls it, of time for themselves, and to help them heal through what we deal with on a daily basis. We need an outlet, and Robert's introducing us to a new outlet.